Welcome back, everyone. It's the Aces NFL show. Week 14 preview coming up, but before we get right into it, we've got to review Week 13 because it was a monster. Everything was going our way except the Ravens playing Puch, and now I'm going to wear this Puch top.
Mate, that's a great top. It looks fantastic on you.
Yeah, you know
great
what?
complexion.
There's one to wear. It's this one.
It's a ripper.
I've got a bit burnt in the sun
You did
today.
get a bit burnt, didn't you? Far out.
Jeez, I need to get this. Everyone's calling me a bit
Jeez,
pasty
it
lately.
looks good on you, though, mate. Looks good on you.
I'll tell you what, I am cooking, though. I am running hot. I don't know if that's the sun or the multis on the weekend. I am running hot, Sip. I'm running hot.
Oh, at least you can. Fuck around.
Oh, well, we might as well recap
may
it.
as well fucking shit the bed because he killed me.
Oh, mate, Evans was catching. Evans was catching every time. But for some reason, Evans looked like. I don't know whether it was because I was just. I was just praying for a deep ball.
Jeez, I can't believe it. Ranked 29th against a tight end, and he got 4 from 20.
Yeah.
Excellent. Good form. Really, really excited. So sorry to all you people out there.
Oh, and you can apologise to both of us because we always multi our best. Mate, we got something. I actually when I put it on the feed, but I realised I missed 2 of them because they can't go over 100. But the one we got was, I mean, it was a trip to Vegas and back times 2.
It would have been a couple of times, to be honest. It would have been
Hey,
thoroughly
we're not far
enjoyable.
off, though. We're not
we're
far
going all right. I'm going all right. I like how we kind of changed it up a little bit and do it. So maybe that's something to think about as well going forward. So maybe we'll speak about that a bit later. But
mate, there's definitely teams to stay away from and there's teams to target. And
no doubt.
And one of them is definitely the Cleveland Browns. Like Jerry Jeudy, I thought he couldn't get 60 against Patrick Surtain. He had 60 in the first play.
Yeah. Unbelievable. That was such a cool game to watch, though, in the end. Like, when you have Jameis Winston just running around, rogue throws, some of them get pulled off, others are going back the other way. It's like, it is the most entertaining thing on TV at this moment. It is so exciting. He had 600 or something yards of total throwing plays, was it? Like yardage.
Yep.
It was just that 70 of it went the other way.
Oh, mate. What did he say? I need the Lord.
I need the great Lord to stop blessing me with throwing picks or something like that.
I need the Lord to bless me from throwing pick sixes. And he's being dead serious.
While 100% smiling straight down the barrel too, which is excellent.
He's that rogue.
Oh, mate.
He closed his eyes and said, I'm better than that.
Let's just see what happens. Some of them are absolute dimes. I thought that 70-yarder that Jerry Jeudy had was like, that was just like, beautiful, and some of it is just absolute huge.
Well, it's the short intermediate
so
ones.
exciting,
It's like, come on. If you're not throwing it deep, big boy, just throw it out of bounds.
It's just so exciting, though. That was a very good game. I really didn't expect that. I honestly thought that it would be well and truly unders.
They
to be
actually
honest.
say that against the blitz.
Yeah.
Jameis is really good. Really good.
He knows
where these deep. He knows where those deep balls are going, and I think he likes the blitz. It's when he's got time in the pocket. I think he throws those.
It's like he's almost got too many options, so he just shits it all of a sudden. But it's very
clearer against the blitz, and he knows that he's got one-on-ones.
Just make that call and go for it. But no, it was an entertaining game for sure.
Wasn't it ever? I tell you what, it was the Mims house call. What about that? Because that's the call of the year from the train. I am running hot. I'm going to be loading up this week against Green Bay. There's a bit of money there, and I don't know what I'm doing yet, but there's a guy that owes me a lot of money. It's Jameson Williams. He owes me. And who owes you? What was it? We had a Thanksgiving special. I think Tracy cost you.
I think it was Tracy and probably Kelsey the next day, to be honest. I'm sick and tired of that, man.
How many multis has he cost us? Mainly me.
I'm not
he's the last leg every time.
I'm not going anywhere near him anymore. All the yardages and that, and I just need him to go in the end zone. It doesn't happen, so I'm leaving it. That's it.
We're leaving him out. A jersey update. Yes, I am. There's one on the. So I cannot find a Daniel Jones Minnesota jersey. I cannot find one anywhere. So you got to bear with me.
Excellent.
What do you want, a Giants one?
Jeez, if you do that to me, absolute murder. I will burn it on top of this table right now. That's what would happen if I got one.
No, it's. I'm looking for the one that he wants. He wants a special Saquon buddy throwback. Good luck. They're sold out because he's running hot. Just ask Harrow. I told him load up before the fantasy. He told me I'm a clown. Well, who's the clown now, Harrow?
No. I just said that he'll get injured injured or something. But, he's proved me wrong. He stayed healthy.
You can't be doing that, Harrow. Far out. It's the quads. Have you seen the size of his quads?
Yeah, they're small as. I've got bigger quads than that.
He doesn't have to run through 3 people anymore. He's actually got an offense to actually clear gaps for him.
He might actually win the MVP. He has to win the MVP.
Oh, it has to be, as we said about last week, it has to be up for discussion.
Now that Lamar's lost that game, I honestly think...
Josh Allen's obviously
but he's
going well, but I don't know if he's like... maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I was wrong about the Bills all year, but he's obviously right up there. But like what Saquon's doing is just outstanding. And he's got an unbelievable matchup this week against Carolina. It's going to be, seriously, put him up for 200. I swear. I might put him just alone 200 plus rushing yards and see how it goes.
They might give us a market.
High, but I tell you what, start thinking about it because it's going to be there.
He probably get 199 knowing our luck.
He will.
It's unbelievable. I think that's all we've got on the.
No. We got the old Chicago Bear little firing. That is excellent.
Not about that.
Talk about a complete fucking capitulation.
Oh, well said.
You've got 46 seconds left on the clock plus a timeout, and you decide, okay, he gets sacked. It is what it is. You call a fucking timeout. Call a timeout. You are in field goal range. You can get the ball into field goal range with enough time. Absolute basket case. And I was so glad that he was gone. You can't. That's ridiculous.
I think it's a blessing in disguise.
That is ridiculous.
Because if they win that game, he stays on for the year, right?
Yeah. Well,
I'm glad he's gone because he pisses me off something shocking.
That was disgraceful. Like I cannot believe that. Everybody in this NFL community, like guys that don't hardly even know the game, know why didn't they use that timeout?
Yeah, straight away.
Like
straight away.
Why not? You have the time.
Caleb Williams, I mean, I know he's a number 1 pick and he's a young quarterback, but he's doing these ones.
Yeah.
I'm going, brother, you running, all the boys have already run a route, and I'm thinking, surely it's like, and you're looking at the bench going, I've got no one lined up.
Surely.
And then I'm thinking, when he did his press conference, he goes, well, the plan was he gets the playoff, we do it, then we call a timeout, kick a field goal.
Yeah.
Well, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Call a timeout. You've got 2 chances to throw it.
That's right.
And if you don't get it, you still kick a field goal.
That's right. But they were 5 yards away from being in field goal range.
What's worse, that one on Dax about 2 years ago when he did the run.
Oh.
I reckon this is worse.
Gee.
Because Dak needed to get yardage where this guy's...
I tell you, this is probably worse because they were in a great position already to be able to do it. So, yeah, I'm not sure. That was just a complete schmozzle.
Oh,
and honestly, he deserved to go because it probably wasn't the first time that's happened. He's made some other horrendous calls that has cost them games.
We've spoken about it all year. The Washington one, the Hail Mary, Washington, he goes, that first play didn't matter.
Yeah.
When Dan Quinn goes, that first play mattered so much because then we got a chance to do it.
Yeah.
He's just had a mare.
Nah, he's had an absolute mare and, fair enough that he's gone. So is that the third one this year?
How does a bloke like that get a head coaching gig?
I actually have no idea.
If he speaks to the media with that mindset.
Yeah, I have no idea. I don't know.
It rattles me. Some of the things that's what rattles me.
But I'm sure the organisation then started to get alarm bells as well when he started saying that, and then the writing was on the wall. They were just waiting for something else to kind of go to shit, and it's exactly what they got.
Unbelievable. Yeah. Well, Uberflus, he takes his time out and he has a timeout. He needs a big spell because he's. But I tell you one thing I like is the Bears' offensive coordinator hasn't he sharpened him up?
Yeah, he sharpened him up a little bit. Like he's got guys going, which is good. It's finally good to see Keenan Allen getting freaking ball. Like for the first 10 weeks, you didn't see him anywhere. I was like, that's a massive disappointment. That guy is way too good to not be getting thrown the ball. Like I'm talking 3 targets a game. Good luck. Like. No way. I know you've got DJ Moore and that. I get that as well, and you got to share it. But DJ Moore and Keenan Allen are your 2 guys to be able to throw it to. You give them 15 to 18 targets every single week, however way you want to go about it, because they will make plays. And over the last few weeks, that's finally occurred. So let's hope that continues because they're in red hot form, and Keenan's kind of saved my butt in a couple of little things, to be honest, which has been nice. So
did you see the route that he got the touch? I think it might have been the second touchdown.
Yeah, it was the second tutty. It was pure. It was so good to watch. I loved it. Just breaking ankles, and that's what he does.
He's as good as it gets in the slot.
Just give him the ball in positions like that because he will make the defender get on ice skates, and good luck. So, yeah, that's definitely been one exciting thing for sure.
Bo Nix, do we have a heat check? He just beat the Browns?
Nah. I'm not there yet. 1 tutties, 2 picks. That throw was unbelievable to Mims and that, and he's doing his thing, which is excellent. But Denver also scored 2 touchdowns on defense. So let's just we'll just tone it down a little bit. Yeah,
haven't
we're not
played-
there yet.
Well, I'm trying to look at
We're
their
not there
schedule.
yet.
What
We're
game?
not there yet.
Let's have a look at the quick schedule while you're talking.
Yeah,
It's
let's
gonna
have a look. I've got it here. So they've got the bye this week. They've got the week off. All right, so they get to freshen up and feel good. They've got the Colts the week after.
6 and 7 Colts. That's not
So
that
that's
big.
probably not bad. They're at home. And then they play
Chargers.
Then they've got the Chargers on the road.
Thursday night football. So we get a
Yeah.
Friday 12, 15
so
game.
that's a big one for him at the Chargers. Defense has been pretty solid. So yep, okay. If he goes well there, then maybe that's the opportune moment to shut up and deal with it. The flexi, they've got Cincinnati on the road. Their defense is putrid, so you should be able to light them up.
Chiefs.
And then week 18 is the Chiefs.
So there's an apology coming after
There
Chargers
might
or
be.
Chiefs.
There might be. Yeah. Agree.
If he loses
But-
both of them.
But if he loses both of them, they probably don't make the playoffs, and then there's no apology.
Yep, that's fair. I agree with you.
Because I think he should beat the Colts based on what he's been able to do at home. I think that's fair enough. Bengals do not have a defense.
Hey, Bengals. There's a lot of angry listeners out there. They're not happy with the Bengals.
Bing, bong,
Is it
dangles.
Bengals? Is it what's wrong with
It's the Bengals.
So Benny Graham
Yeah,
Gals.
yeah,
Ben.
basically along those lines. So
Sounds better when you say Bengals.
yeah,
anyway.
I like it too. So
Anyone out there
get
that's not
Nick.
happy with it, just deal with it, all right? Because it's Bengals is how we're going to say it.
but yeah, he's still got couple of big matchups coming up. So, it's still there for a chance. It's still there for a chance.
I like it.
But not yet.
Bryce Young, man, I'm telling you, if
he's
you
found
want to make
something.
free cash, 200 passing yards every week and maybe 2 passing tutties, he's on target, especially
found
against
something.
any teams that are good against the run. He looks good.
Yeah, no, he's found something which has been really good. And they're like the last 3 or 4 weeks, they've been actually pretty solid. Like they've been in games. We're gone from this period where the first 8 weeks where they're literally the easy beats of the competition. You know that teams are going to win by 10 plus, and it's just however long they can kind of hold on to the ball for. But now they've actually been really competitive. Like arguably should have won that game on the weekend.
Sure.
It was impressive to watch, and then the week before against the Chiefs as well, was still very, very good. So, yeah, he's showing some really promising signs, which is good, and I hope he's the quarterback, of the future for the
definitely
Panthers.
is,
So
mate. I think he is.
That's good. Yeah, I like seeing that.
So do I. Just a quick news. Aaron Rodgers will have a doco coming out. Is it called
Great.
Enigma? I think a lot of people aren't happy with
Awesome.
that. He couldn't have timed that any better.
We're
Jeez,
just
it was
worried about all his meditation.
I
And,
bet against the
yeah.
Jets this week for the
Oh,
first time ever, and I
wow.
still couldn't win. I had Kenneth Walker tutty, and I think Charbonnet running in. I go,
He
what is
did.
doing, man?
Yeah, he did.
And then I thought the Jets are going to, mate, the Jets started 20, Jets were up 3
21-6
touchdowns. I go,
Oh.
I can't believe I've bet against the Jets, and they're going to go up 28-7, and then he
Mate.
threw a pick 6.
Get
Did you
Jeff
see that
Bezos
Leonard
in,
Williams-
mate.
Did you
Get
see
Jeff
that-
Bezos
Did
in,
you
mate.
see? Oh, Jeff Bezos. He needs to deliver something. Hey, Jeff needs to deliver something, doesn't he?
Oh, mate.
That
21-6 and they still couldn't get it right. Unbelievable.
And on the goal
if
line.
Jeff Bezos was there, they'd go standing up, mate.
We need you, Jeff. Jeffrey, we need you, mate.
Oh, we need you,
I don't
man.
wanna be
We
wearing
need
this green,
you,
mate. I don't wanna be wearing
man.
the Jets down there. It's a disgrace. What is going on? You're 21-7 up and you throw pick sixes on the goal line.
Unbelievable. Give it. Leonard Williams runs it back, the big D lineman,
And the worst-
for 90 yards.
And the worst part was they traded him. Oh my God.
He was a Giants man, so they got away with one there. But seriously, hilarious, good stuff. And
wow.
hey, we need to bring up the Steelers, don't we?
It's apology time, baby.
I love this. They made me a lot of
We
cash.
love the Steelers now, don't we? Oh, yeah,
saw
they've
that
got no
multi-year on the-
offense. They got no offense, mate. Dropped 44.
They're playing the Bengals.
It doesn't matter.
The Bengals couldn't fucking. Mate, they defend like me.
Mate, that's great. 44 points, excellent.
you
Hey,
seen
talk
the
about
stats?
offense.
Have you seen the stats on this stuff?
Mate, that was the longest game ever because everyone just started scoring. It was excellent.
Oh, if you didn't win, hey, listen here, Aces. If you've had a same gamer on that game and you didn't win, well, give it up. Give it up. Because I think every single player scored. I'm not even joking. I don't know a player that didn't score.
Even Najee Harris looked good.
Najee Harris, I think he caught one. Hey, unbelievable.
Excellent.
Where is our
Great stuff.
stats that we were sending through? Here you go. 31 teams, when scoring 33 points in 2024, are 51-1. Well, when the Bengals have scored 33, they're 2-4.
Excellent. Joe Burrow has done that 4 times this year and lost, and Tom Brady did it 4 times throughout his whole career. I mean, you just got to be so stiff. What else can you do? Talk about MVPs. He would actually be MVP if their record was 8-5 or 9-4 right now. He'd be the clear favourite by a long way.
I can't believe it.
30 tutties, 5 interceptions only. Quarterback rating is through the roof, and not even being mentioned really because of how badly they suck right now on defense. It's so sad.
Seasons, a QB has had 30-plus passing touchdowns and 5 or fewer interceptions through the first 12 games. They're all 9+. So it's like Aaron Rodgers 2020 was 9-3. Mahomes 2020 11-1. Yep. Drew Brees 2018 10-2.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers 2014, 9-3.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers, 2011, 12-0. And then Tom Brady, 2007, 12-0. And our man, Smoking Joe, 2024 is 4-8. I mean, you don't have to
Mate, I just don't know what else. He can't do anything else. It's not on him, clearly.
I think they're starting to get angry. Jamar Chase's post-game, he was trying not to say the defense needs to lift. He's like, we're going to find a way, but he's like, kind of.
Well, he's thrown the kicker under the bus, so he may as well throw the defense under the bus too.
He's not going the kicker.
He threw the kicker under the bus a few weeks ago, though. Now just put it on the defense, mate.
The kicker doesn't have to do anything. They just keep scoring tutties.
Jeez.
Can't be having to go at the offense and the special teams, especially the kicker.
Unbelievable.
Oh,
unbelievable.
Anyway, we keep moving.
We'll move on, eh?
There's a lot going.
That's good. That's excellent.
Winston's press conference where we speak about he's going to be fun on the the Hard Knocks documentary, AFC North.
That'll be a ripper.
Ravens, Browns, Bengals, and Steelers all flying and all got dramas. It should be good.
Yep.
And as we said, the Bears getting rid of their head coach. What about Miami in the cold? It's a thing.
It's definitely a thing.
We backed him in last week.
Tua played very well, though.
What about Tyreek Hill getting us over the line with that tutty and the old Ricochet?
How about him dropping number 11 in terms of his child right now? He's on absolute fire. Jeez.
I mean, I tell you what.
It's his 5th child this year. He's had more kids than tutties.
Have you heard what he's getting from his parents for Christmas? He's getting the snip. He's getting the snip. They've sent him in for the snip.
That's great.
He's had fucking 20 kids.
Mate, he'll find a way to unsnip himself, I reckon. Away he goes.
I mean, if I'm a condom...
Talk about cheaper by the dozen.
There's one more. If I'm a condom company, I'm going straight to Tyreek Hill and he's the pin-up boy. Surely if you own that... What's a condom label called?
Oh, I don't know. What is... I don't know.
That is the second kid.
I'm a monster.
I'm a monster. Have you seen that bloke from Alabama that just got sent home? Did you see that bloke? Oh my God.
We're losing track here. We're losing track here a little bit. But seriously, we're talking about from cold weather to Tyreek letting loose.
There's a guy called Keanu Coat. He's the Alabama linebacker. He's been forced to transfer because he sent the coach's daughter what do you call it? A photo of his cock which is a disgrace. Inexplicit photo. And he said, want this horse. You can't be doing that. You can't be doing that. He'll be playing it. He's been given the arse. You can't.
I'm losing control.
This is outrageous. That's fact. I just saw it last night.
We might need 5 minutes here. It is steamy right now.
Well,
that is excellent.
I think that's everything from last week, Sid. We'll have to go to the Aces
We're
Instagram.
giving up on the cold weather in Miami game. We've just moved on.
Oh yeah, see, mate. And by the way, if you want to pick up someone on the waivers, it's the third string running back.
There is.
If you got
a bit of waiver cash, may as well jump on board because Mason and CMC both done. See you later.
It might win the trainees fantasy. He can go next to Derrick Henry and Saquon, I reckon.
Oh my gosh, excellent stuff. Jeez, that escalated quickly.
Yeah,
that was fantastic.
Can you imagine saying, want this horse and sending it to the coach's daughter? What a disgrace.
But seriously, child number 11 and 5 in this year. I'd like, that's astounding numbers. Unbelievable.
Is it
he's
true?
had a big
Is it
year on
definitely
Tyreek. Yeah.
It's
all reports.
Mate, he might be playing till he's 40.
He's going to have to. He is going to have to. That was excellent.
It's impressive stuff.
Yeah, very good stuff.
No wonder he's been low this year on production. He's been pumping out childs. Righto. Let's go to the Aces IG hot takes. And
Which
by
has
the way,
been fantastic. Yeah.
and people
really good.
People in the DMs, I can't keep up with them in the DMs at the moment.
Yeah, on fire.
But
you sent me 6 pages worth. I was like, far out.
Yeah, it's been good.
rolling.
And they're only the ones that we like. Anyway, so Davis Kelly, this is you. Let's go quick fire here so we can get into it.
Quick fire, let's do it.
Why has Doug Peterson and Press Taylor not been fired from Jacksonville? It's embarrassing.
Yeah, great question. Don't know. Probably doesn't help when they literally don't have anybody on offense left. But no, I'm surprised. But I would expect something to change at the end of the year.
Did you think that? What do you think of Tom Brady's comments around Trevor Lawrence running the ball and the offensive coordinator calling that play versus the defenders going in hard and being ruthless?
Yeah, I don't know. It's just the way the game is now, isn't it?
That was a cheap shot. He went in with his. He had a guard on his.
What I mean by that, in terms of the way the game is now, is you protect the quarterback, obviously at all costs. So, like, no doubt, he's lowered himself. He was already making the move to go down, and it was a genuine cheap shot.
It might have won the game, though.
I mean, there's no doubt because they were a bit rocky, to be honest. But who knows? Maybe it didn't because they obviously hadn't studied for Mac Jones maybe a lot, and they prepared for Trevor. So maybe they would have been in more control. But yeah, definitely a cheap shot, and he deserved the suspension that he got for sure. I think he got 3 weeks for it in the end. So, yeah, which is rare in the NFL. So that's how much of a cheap shot it was for sure.
Bad.
And Trevor, yeah, obviously, hopefully Trevor's all right because it was a pretty significant hit. Genuinely,
yeah. It's bad. Tucker is washed. Tristan Whack. Jeez, I tell you what, he's costing us Ravens.
Oh, geez, it's tough. Talk about just brutal, isn't it? Like, he's arguably the greatest of all time. He probably is the greatest of all time. One down year and everybody's.
I think it's because the game, like on the weekend, it cost us the game,
and he set high standards for himself for so many years. Like he had the best kicking percentage in the history of the game. And when you're in games like you are, and you're missing 3 opportunities like that, and you've done it multiple times, it's pretty tough going. So hopefully he can find a bit of form towards the back end of the year because they're going to need him.
Junior 400. The Kansas City Chiefs are paying the refs some serious cash under the table. I agree.
I don't know. Why not just Vegas snap the ball when the quarterback's looking too? But I don't know.
What about that? I think a shout out to our man Campbell Brown.
Why doesn't Daniel Carlson also hit his 3 field goals that he was out there to do as well?
Campbell Brown had money on the Raiders. He'd be headless.
3. So another one there. But yeah, no, they're paying a fair bit of cash. So.
Some dollar K-Dot and fuck me. That would have paid for my ticket to the Lions' last home game.
Would have paid for ours too, mate. So, yeah, sorry about that.
Super Bowl ticket, to be honest. Winning some cash, Benny Peters. Winning some cash, Tommy, thank you. Great man. Keep him coming. No worries.
You bet that one.
I might read that one out again. Liam Canny, Dobbins' injury to cost Chargers playoffs. Thoughts?
No.
Cooper Baker, Burrow is the MVP.
No.
Nick Moz, Lions will be too beaten up come playoffs. It's the Eagles conference coming from a cheesehead.
I don't mind that.
I think they're losing a lot on defense.
They're hurting right now, and they're in it's a dangerous game they've got this weekend. I believe that they might drop one. Yeah, I reckon it could be it because Green Bay are rolling right now.
Talk about that,
so it's going to be exciting. We'll move to it, but yeah, I would agree with that. I think so.
Ollie Holt, Chargers will roll the divisional rival Chiefs.
I like that as a smoky this week too. I really do.
They were bad this week though.
They were, but
offensively.
That's just my little. Let's keep flying.
There's a lot here. I'm going to go real quickly. Billy Ward, Cardinals snag a wild card spot, and Kyler is a top 5 quarterback.
No.
Jetty Millard 18. Niners to be renamed the San Fran Jets. #horrific.
Jeez, mate, they don't have anyone left down on the park. That's for sure.
Same bloke. What was bro Matt Uberflus thinking? We've already covered that. We've got to save time. Tady Hullen, Travis Hunter or Ashton Jeanty, number 1 pick.
Oh, Genty's legit.
You don't take running backs to pick one, though.
I know you don't, but Genty is legit.
What about Travis Hunter?
Travis Hunter can't play 2 positions, though, so I'll be interested what he has to choose.
Why not?
No.
Change the game.
No, well, I don't think it happens. I think there's just too much to learn in that from an NFL point of view. Who am I picking, though, as the number 1 overall pick? Probably Hunter.
You have to.
Yeah.
Phil B42. Bills are Super Bowl bound, led by MVP Josh Allen.
Yeah, I can see that.
Patrick Bolter, Saquon MVP, lock if he breaks the rushing record, on track as well.
Love that too. I'm right there with you.
Bailey Lawson, Burrow MVP. Jack Zapp, 15. Kate Otten on the never again list. Cost us all a stack.
Agree.
We haven't spoken about him enough. I was going to post a photo of Otten on Insta, but I thought, we're not that. We're not those guys. We like to pump them up.
We can't do that.
But geez, we give him a spray behind the scenes. The notorious Rob. Ravens aren't that good.
I mean, that's worth.
Hey, don't get shy around me.
That's worth discussing, my friend.
Worth
discussing. Yeah,
Riley,
they
Jono,
could miss the playoffs.
They're not missing.
They could.
They play the Giants next week.
They got 3.
This week, next
so
week.
after the bye, they have 3 games in 10 days.
They'll
They
win.
could be cooked.
Lamar or Rush. Lamar's built
Look at
differently.
him. Look at him. He's
I'm telling you,
not my
they'll win 2 of the
Ravens.
3.
Not my Ravens.
Fuck, the Steelers are actually going too well.
They are. Watch
Kate
out.
Otten on the Riley Jono. Don't think Green Bay has played better football than they are now,
They
even
are
under
in-
Rodgers.
They're in some seriously good form right now, and no one's really speaking about them because Minnesota's number 2 and Detroit are number 1. But they are playing really well right now.
Skinner 9. Tommy Spray about the boring Steelers. Turn them into Brady/Moss Pat scoring 44. Hey, Skinner, I had to get them going and they won me some cash, so I'm loving that.
Don't you turn your coat like that. That's bullshit,
well,
mate.
When they got it done, big fry moves, $4.
That's great. That was so good to watch, though. That was excellent as well.
It was. Riley Bockel. Chiefs are the worst 11-1 team I've ever seen. If they make the Super Bowl, I'll spew. I honestly, if I could write something, that's what I would have wrote. Well said. It's pathetic. They are disgusting to watch. They can't. Travis Kelce can't even score a tutty, and they're 11-1. How does he score 3 touchdowns on the year and they're 11-1?
Yeah, watch him score 6 in the playoffs.
Yeah, well said. Okay, our man Al O'Connor's got 3 years. We'll go quick. Bengals defense wasting Joe Burrow's talent and career. He needs out before it's too late. Agree or disagree?
Say that again.
He's pretty much saying, should Joe get out?
Oh. No, well, he can't. No one else will, but if he should consider it. But
Cooper DeJean, Defensive Rookie of the Year, and Sam Darnold to Giants next year? Question mark.
Gee, Sam Darnold to the Giants.
Not a bad call.
Not a
That's
bad
very
call. I don't mind that call actually. And Cooper DeJean. Well,
See that tackle?
he's made that's on the other side of him. It's probably just ahead in Quentin Mitchell.
That tackle
which
on
is
Derrick Henry
that was
pretty
very impressive.
I mean,
Very
Derrick was on
impressive.
the back foot.
Oh, here we go.
Don't worry,
Yada,
save it
yada,
for the
yada,
grand
yada,
final.
yada.
We'll see you in the Super Bowl,
Yada, yada,
boys.
yada.
He'll run it straight through DeJean's throat.
Oh, wowee. Get out of your horse,
Big
mate.
Cooper, come at him again. The big train will go straight through you in the Super Bowl. I'm telling you, he's got a big memory.
Baltimore won't even make the playoffs, mate. Don't worry about the Super Bowl.
And then Chiefs can't win. We're all waiting for them to flick imaginary switch. It just ain't happening.
Wow. That's a big call. I don't think so. I feel like Andy Reid's a bit of a genius and is just going to find a way, which is even more annoying.
I know. I kind of agree with that as well. Jason, I can't say her last name, but back Tommy in with his multis. Yep,
Yeah.
well said.
Oh,
we're running hot. We're hot. Hey,
geez.
Sip was hot as well. So 7 from 8 we were last
Yeah,
week.
we were 7 from 8. Yeah.
Anyway, look, I'm carrying on here. There's a lot. I'll go any more. Well, we got five buck odds for Saquon MVP. Do we hammer it? Zachy Young, well, it was 6 last week. I reckon you hammer it. That's probably not a great. Well, Josh. So we haven't spoken about this, but Josh Allen's touchdown last week, the receiving one, mate. Amari Cooper has got no love. He's the one that set that up. That was a bit of like instinct, just kicking in. And Josh Allen ran around. You know what he did? It was like footy stay close. You know when they go stay close when your man's under the pack.
Yeah.
He stayed close, and Cooper just went, "Oh, you have
here
it."
you go.
And that could have been a disaster.
Magical, but especially in that weather.
But Cooper's got no love. I don't
love.
think one person mentioned Cooper.
Nah, it was all about Josh Allen being receiving, rushing, and passing, which was still pretty cool. But yeah, Cooper's instincts there was very
Harry
impressive.
Walker 20. Kirk is washed.
He is having a really tough time right now. And Atlanta are just left with asking more questions, to be honest. So, he's struggling.
And then Caleb Kuzmic, Atlanta to unleash Penix Jr. this week. Cousins is done.
Well, mate,
Probably a good time to do it.
Probably can't see why not, to
There's
be
that,
honest.
these
And they won't
quarterbacks.
do it, though, because they're technically still in the race for it, so they won't do it. But, geez, when you've thrown 6 picks in the last 2 weeks, tough going.
And then
Tough
we got,
going.
Look, guys, there's a lot more we're going to get through, but loving him. Casey Vanner, hey, train and sip. Unfortunately, I can't stop saying Puch and the grouse. And Joshy Hilda. A lot of people not agreeing with the Ravens. Time to buy a Bryce Young jersey. Shawnee Riley, I agree. Daniel Bean,
this
at
is
risk
good.
of jinxing myself, what
This is
prizes are up for grabs in the NFL tipping? Currently leading, so I'm beginning to stress. Love the pod, fellas. Listen year round. One of the best going for AFL and NFL. Well, we've got some good things. We've got jerseys. We're going to get some sunnies in there. And we've got a couple other things we're just waiting on, depending on sponsors. But we've got some cool things. We don't want to give them all away.
No, we don't want to give them all away just yet, but you'll be ready to go. So,
but great, man.
Hold on.
Keep it up, Danny. I must say the hardest place to be in a tipping competition is on top. I don't know what it is, but you start doing stupid shit. You know, you'll probably tip against your team last week and lose by 1.
That's great.
All right, well that's week 13 in the bank. There's a lot to talk about.
It's a big week 14. It is a big week 14.
The pressure's on us, mate. We've been running hot, and now it's about can you go again?
Jeez, can we? Big week 14, so we'll see what we've got here.
All right. If you like, well, anyway, guys, that's the review of week 13. I hope you enjoyed that. Let's get stuck into week 14 preview.
Massive one to start off with. Green Bay Packers at Detroit Lions. This is a huge matchup, NFC North.
It's massive.
Like, Green Bay are on fire right now. Detroit's obviously doing what they're doing. They're starting to get a little bit banged up on defense in particular, but the Green Bay Packers right now have just found some really, really good form on both sides of the ball. Like Jordan Love's looking after the footy. Josh Jacobs' running game is got going. The young wide receivers have finally been able to show and do their thing. And their defense is stout right now, and that's without their best corner right now in the game. So they look really, really strong. And I'm tipping a bit of an upset here.
Yeah, there's a
right now, without going through the personnel right now, what we normally do, but just straight to the head-to-head. And I think that I think Green Bay are a bit of a smoky. I like what they're doing right now.
The Lions give up the 8th most passing yards, 243.7 to be, on spit it out. Let me start that again.
Nah, keep it in.
The Lions give up the 8th most passing yards, 243 to be exact, and they've allowed multiple TDs for the first time last week. They haven't done it for a while.
Yeah. I love Reed. Reed is the guy that I'm going to right now for the Packers.
Well,
and if Love can hold on to the ball.
They give up the 2nd most receiving yards, 103, and 2nd most receptions to receivers aligned in the slot.
Yeah.
Reed posted 113 back in early November.
Yeah. I like the look of it a lot. I reckon it's a great matchup for him, and that's the way I'm definitely going to be leaning for him from the Green Bay Packers. And on the other side, the one area that Green Bay have struggled a little bit with on their defense is probably looking after the tight end. So Sam Laporta is a very dangerous man, I think, in this matchup. So I also like the look of him as well because it's probably the one area on Green Bay's defense that they're lacking just a little bit right now. They're pretty solid against the run. Mind you, you're coming up against a two-headed monster in Montgomery and Gibbs, which you haven't had to deal with for a while. But Laporta's the guy for me, I reckon, that might be able to sneak in and get himself in the end zone.
Yeah, well, it's good that you said that Green Bay give up the 6th most receiving yards to the position, 63 for anyone out there that's looking at a line, and the 4th most receptions per game. Laporta only turned 2 catches and 28 receiving yards in the matchup in week 9. So these teams have played each other before. So if you want to go back and look, generally, I mean, you would know, the same things don't happen twice.
No, they don't.
So if Laporta had a down week that time.
Your indoor stadium and things like that as well.
It's at Detroit.
It's at Detroit. There's just different ways. And when you get to play at home, it's always a little bit different and stuff too from Detroit perspective. But Green Bay obviously now getting to play in an indoor stadium can also probably start to maybe light it up a little bit different. But never is there a case where two matchups are the same. It's always going to look a little differently, particularly in these divisional games when you've already played them once.
I just have this feeling that Jahmyr Gibbs is going to get a receiving touchdown.
You think so?
I just think they're going to use him in the backfield, and I reckon for the first time in a while, they might be playing from behind.
Yeah.
But if they're not, hopefully it's an even game. I have a feeling that Goff will get back to his 300 passing yards, 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, right.
Because of the...
I like it.
This should be a slingshot game.
I would agree. I would agree, especially now with Detroit, how much they're hurting on the defensive side of the ball. There's no doubt. And you're right. They're probably going to have to play. Not that they're never aggressive. It's the Detroit Lions are always aggressive, but yeah, it's going to be closer than what they're thinking. They're going to have to really start moving the ball down the field. I think a fair bit to give themselves a shot.
So there's 2 plays that after the Mims, heat check, I'm running hot. There's another guy that I think it's a Mims-like play, and the stats back this up. So hear this out, right? So Green Bay gives up the 11th fewest receptions to receivers lined out wide, which is I'm talking about Jameson Williams right here.
Yeah,
but they give up the 11th most receiving touchdowns on targets 20 plus air yards.
Oh, right.
So they're giving up explosive
really
plays.
explosive plays.
And,
Yeah,
and,
right.
and as we know, there's a market there for 20-plus yards, which is just as good as a touchdown. But I reckon you could do both.
Yeah.
I think Jameson Williams is the one.
Yeah.
I don't know where Alexander, if he's going to be playing.
I still don't know.
But if he's out, this leans heavily towards, I think, a slingshot game.
Yeah.
Because of the injuries on defense for Detroit. And you look, I mean, Jacobs is the other one we haven't spoken about so far. And we're talking about this in depth because we've got our analysis out and we also want to zone in on this game so we can all make some cash before the games start Monday morning. But Jacobs is an interesting one, isn't he? Like, I think the Lions give up, the 14th most adjusted and the 4th fewest rushing yards. But he did turn 13 attempts into 95 rushing and 13 receiving yards when they met earlier in the year. And I reckon if he was to have like 13 attempts for 95, I reckon he can bust them again. So I'm kind of leaning, if you're going to lean Green Bay, I just think he can get the ton.
I think so too. I think it's not necessarily all about what Detroit's defense is doing. It's probably how well Green Bay's offense has really got going. The offensive line been able to provide gaps for him. Really, really punching through the hole and stuff like that. And that's probably what the difference is too. So it's not necessarily all about what Detroit's been able to do for the year. It's about, hey, this offensive line has really got going here and allowing him to just do what he needs to do, particularly over the last 6 or 7 weeks. And there's no doubt that he's going to have a big influence on this game for sure.
Let's cook something up quickly while we're on it. Jacobs, 80-plus rushing.
Yeah, I like Jacobs for 80-plus to be honest.
Do we go that Jameson 20-plus catch and tutty?
Oh,
Or just 20-plus?
maybe just 20-plus.
Okay, 20-yard reception. And then
You're a bolder man than me, though.
Yeah, well, we'll give them the choice. And then
I like Laporta for any time.
Laporta, well, let's go yards for this
All right,
one.
we'll go yards.
Laporta for 50-plus because they do give up 60 to the position.
We like 50-plus.
And then do we go Gibbs for receiving yards?
Yeah, and I like Jalen Reed as well, though.
Yep, so how many receiving yards for Gibbs? Over? Just go the over?
Just go the over, I reckon. And then Reed's probably 50-plus, I reckon.
He wouldn't be paying much, so he's taking the 60.
65 then, let's go.
We'll go 60.
They're even better.
All right, there you go.
Well played, son.
And we won't touch result. We won't touch touchdowns. Let everyone else do that.
We'll leave that.
I'll put that up on
but
the feed.
we like that, which is excellent.
That's good. All right, Sid, well, let's fly through the next few games.
Let's go.
But let's go through them all.
This one's probably a bit putchy, but, we'll see how he goes. But Jacksonville against Tennessee in Tennessee. Tennessee they've been going okay, except they had a really, really bad loss on the weekend to the Commanders. But previously they're kind of firing. But
I didn't know Snead was going to be out for the season. So because we were spooking Titans, that news came out the next day.
That's right.
Mate, they were horrific.
Yeah. So apologies for that, obviously, as well.
So
that was one that we didn't know. We thought Snead maybe be coming back, but he's actually out on IR right now, isn't he? He's in a bit of trouble.
4 or 6 weeks.
That was an ugly game for him. So they kind of got found out there. But they're favourites here, and I think with Lawrence being out as well, most likely, I think that they should be pretty comfortable here. But what's the young fella's name? He's had 20 targets or 20 catches, 8 touchdowns.
Your man, Westbrook Akina.
Yeah.
I think he's at 15 catches, 8 tutties.
That's right. So he's up there with George Kittle, St. Brown, in terms of 8 or plus touchdowns, and he's had half the amount of catches. It's unbelievable.
There's a stat that he's had more touchdowns than Jefferson and someone else combined.
Loving him right now. So,
which is pissing me off.
It's a bit annoying because Calvin Ridley needs to kind of get going. He's the main man there for a reason. They paid him a lot of money to get it done, but hey, not to be. So
do we think Pollard gets to work here because he's been a bit flat?
He has to against this Jacksonville defense. He has to. Yep. Okay. I like the look of that.
And Jacksonville,
I don't like touching Jacksonville at all. They're just all kinds of ugly.
They are.
The only person you keep going to that we say to every week is Evan Ingram in terms of just receptions. I don't know how many yards he'll get or anything like that, but just receptions is all I can really think of for him. Yeah. And that's about it.
I'm just getting
because there's nobody else on that offense. ETN's gone missing for the last month. I don't know, or even longer. I don't know where he is.
Yeah.
So it's ugly.
Mac Jones is ugly, man. How bad is he to watch?
Yeah, it's
because he's a pretty. I thought he was good enough to come in and
he probably smokes too much weed, but that's okay.
Oh, does he? Does he like the? Yeah, well, he's.
Oh yeah.
He definitely has the munchies. He's got a rig like. I thought I had a bad rig. Gee, he makes me look like Arnie. That bloke. That's a bit personal. It's a bit personal. So that happens when
you're right though.
I've been looking for an Ingram touchdown for all year. I'm not going to get one anytime soon.
No. We can move on from this game, can't we?
I just wanted to go to. You keep talking about it for a second. I just wanted to see.
I don't know what else I want to say.
Well,
about this game.
I think this is a huge game for Ridley because from my memory last week.
He's up against the old mob. He'd want to.
There you go. See, this is why we break this stuff down. When we should have mentioned this about Jerry Judy last week.
We should have.
I took him under. He was never going under because it was his old team and they wanted to do something.
He's up against the old mob at home, so maybe they just should feed him the ball. It'd be nice.
Well, I think there's a case there. And what I'm looking at here is I'm looking at last week, right? And the Jags, they deploy the second highest rate of man coverage.
Well, Nico got him.
Nico got him last time. And I think it's a Calvin Ridley game.
Yeah.
And I'm just looking at what they did on the ground last week as well. And the Jaguars give up the 9th most adjusted and the 12th most rushing. Mixon.
They weren't terrible.
I think Pollard and Ridley can get going on this.
I think Pollard's a different back to Mixon. And I think he's probably a little more dangerous because he can get to the outside.
Yeah. I think Pollard is a big play.
I think he can be a big play. Ridley and Pollard I like.
What odds are we looking at just early days? I'm just going to have that.
It's actually a great question.
I'll have a glance while we're talking here because the
question.
markets are generally a bit slow.
Yeah.
They'd have to be $1.50, wouldn't they?
For the Tennessee to win?
Yeah.
Yeah, they are. They're $1.53.
Oh, there you go. $1.52. Yeah. And if they got an early market out for yards and touchdowns.
I don't know about the yards and the tutties right now, so yeah.
Okay, that's good money though.
I like Pollard and Ridley. They really need to get going here anyway. So
keep moving, King.
We have got the Jets at Miami. And
fucking Jets, man. What a disappointment they are. I'm not going to talk about them. What I will say, I reckon Garrett Wilson, though, Garrett Wilson had nothing last week. I think he was starved.
Devontae Adams got fed, which was nice, but then Wilson was. How about that miss from Rodgers though? Garrett Wilson wide open in the end zone, and then the next play was the pick six.
He tried to force it.
Pick six, and you're like, that's just not what we're used to seeing from that guy.
I think he's actually playing poor.
That is just an absolute dime for him to be able to give to him, and Wilson should be in the end zone for 6, and it's just like, what is going on?
Have you seen, and I've never seen Devontae Adams drop so many balls. Like he's one of the best receivers in the league, and Aaron's.
I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. We shouldn't talk about that. Let's talk about Miami, though. Where does Miami get them? I mean, you'd think they'd get them A-Chain.
I think A-Chain gets them maybe in the receiving game.
Yeah.
I still, they were better in the run game last week against Seattle. Like, Walker didn't really get a lot, so they were okay there in that area, which I know they've struggled with, but A-Chain's just so dangerous receiving and rushing that you never know what you're going to, that's going to be hard to match up on, but he's clearly the guy for me. That they need to control, but I don't know. Like Sauce Gardner's clearly not the same as what he has been the last few years, and he's just it's putrid, which is and it's a shame because the kid's a star.
Well, I don't know, man. I've watched some tape. He's getting absolutely just beat one on one.
He's a star though, but this year it's like Tucker.
Coach.
Tucker's a star, but he's having a shit year.
Yeah,
this
having
year,
a bad year. He's having a bad year.
Can't always be up there every single year, I guess. But we say the same thing about Tyreek Hill every single week. Mate, I reckon he's all out of gas, and we know why.
Well, don't bring it up. We'll be fucking carrying on again. Want to see this?
But we'll leave it at that.
Want to see that?
He's just all out of gas. He's got nothing left.
Do you reckon he had 89 yards and a half? He's not out of gas.
Nah, he's just. Yeah.
I'll tell you who's out of gas.
Two is
I'll
found
tell you
touch.
who's out of gas. You want to know who's out of gas? Mike McDaniel's out of gas.
Yeah, I'll tell you
1 and 15 against teams with a better record.
Better record. Yeah, that's true.
Plus 500 or whatever.
Yeah.
His play calling is horrific.
Yeah.
It's sideways.
Yeah.
I mean, how good's Waddle? Just take Hill. How good's Waddle?
I don't know how you're not the quickest team going north and south every single week and dropping 30 and having
Jonnu Smith got one of the best tight ends in the league at the moment.
Yeah.
He throws these shocking routes. So I'm going, fucking run the ball straight and throw it and just keep throwing it. If he had 3 goes at Tyreek Hill, he'd get him every time.
I agree.
But it's...
Maybe you should be OC. Maybe you should let him know.
Mims deep ball, called it. Not hard. It's not. Sean Payton was in the casino with me. We locked eyes.
Cover 0. There's cover 0 there.
I can see how he thinks.
No safety there. Bang. Let it launch.
He loads up on 11 at roulette.
Oh, that's excellent
I can't believe what I see from Mike McDaniel.
Yeah, it's actually very frustrating for this mastermind of a man that he's meant to be. Hold on, let me finish here, Tommy.
He's done.
Look at him, he's done.
He's done.
Nah, for the mastermind that he's obviously meant to be, it's actually quite disappointing with how highly powered that offense is, and it's frustrating to watch. But they win this game.
Yeah, they probably
You can't go with the Jets.
They do. They're fucking putrid.
You can't go with the Jets. You can't.
Where's the game at?
At Miami.
I reckon Aaron.
Oh, here we go.
I reckon Aaron would enjoy the nice weather. Okay, we'll have it. Want to go double or nothing? Want to go double or nothing?
Nah, you're not getting out of it, son.
I'll get you a Tyreek Hill jersey.
You are not
You get me a
getting out of
Devontae
it.
Adams, and I'll get you a Tyreek.
You are not getting out of it, son.
You know they're not going to win. I got nothing for you, but I'll tell you what's going to happen. Garrett Wilson will score.
Good. I like it. Moving on.
Do you reckon it'll be high scoring because they've got nothing to play for? Are Miami cooked?
No, they're not cooked. They can still make it.
Jets are cooked though, right? So
the Jets are cooked.
So it's going to just throw
They might
deep
not even
balls.
play Aaron.
They have to throw. They have to, don't they?
I mean, they do. They're paying him a fair bit of coin. But
Tyrod Taylor's actually not bad.
yeah. Next matchup, Atlanta against Minnesota at Minnesota.
Does Justin Jefferson want to score a touchdown for me this year?
Well, it's a good one for him to be able to do this week.
Is
and
it?
if Kirk wants to play the way he's been playing the last 2 weeks, seriously, get on the waiver wires and get on Minnesota because their defense will destroy him if he wants to play the way.
Minnesota against the run, good. So against the pass. I tell you the other players,
But another one, Kirk's playing the old mob.
Ooh, great by you.
Kirk is playing the old mob. So,
Does he throw it to Kyle Pitts for the first time in a month?
or does he?
What the fuck? How does Kyle Pitts not get a
Do you
target?
sense a bit of frustration?
I just can't work it out.
Do you sense a bit of
Why does he
frustration
get
here,
kicked
Harrow? Do you sense a little bit of frustration?
I think
right
he's
now?
losing his head, old Tommy.
He's-
I just
he's
don't
not-
understand how
Mate,
Pitts doesn't get a target.
Wired right now.
He's washed. That's what everyone's saying, mate.
But he doesn't get a target.
Yeah, because Kirk's washed as well.
Oh,
Kirk
it's,
said pre-season it's the most impressive player on the list. That's what he said.
Yeah, well, he's washed.
It
mate.
doesn't,
Deal
it
with
doesn't help when he throws 4 picks and he can't get anywhere near it. But he is against the old mum, so he might find a little something.
Is it at?
It is at Minnesota, which he spent a lot of time at, obviously. So
He
who
might enjoy
knows?
that.
But it could be a lot of fun for old Kirk. He might bring it back.
Do you
I don't
reckon
know.
we get
Oh, mate, we're going to have to.
Do you reckon we get the
Or we
chains
get the
out?
walk in. How do you like that? How do you like that? Something like that when he walks in. I don't know. But Minnesota favourites for a reason. I think deservedly so. The way Atlanta's been playing over the last month has been really, really tough going. Defense has kind of been found out maybe a little bit, I reckon. And, Sam Darnold keeps kind of continuing to do his thing. We just need JJ in the end zone now, my man. That's all we need. That's all we want. That's all the people ask for is getting JJ in the end zone. Let's make it happen.
I'm just trying to work out if he does. I mean, looking at the stats here, and it's like last week they said for Quentin Johnson, who played the same, the Falcons give up the most yards per reception and 10th most receiving yards to receivers out wide. Nothing around
He's getting
touchdowns.
out the back.
He scored 3 touchdowns. Yeah, I'm going to have to think this is the week.
He's getting
But
out
you
the
know
back.
what I think it is? Is it just 1 or is it 3? Like, how players have those massive games?
Well, yeah, I know. We've seen it before. We've obviously seen it with Jamar and that, but no, we can't. It could be.
We'll take the
but
1.
we're going to obviously take the 1.
But I'm just thinking he's got to have a big game. He hasn't scored for, I think it's 6 weeks.
He hasn't. And his yardage has been still absolutely fine. It's not like he hasn't got anywhere near it. It's just he's not getting in the freaking end zone. So maybe this week's the week.
Yep.
I really hope that this week's the week. So that's all I'm backing in. That's all I want to happen, really.
No, same here. I'm thinking last week, though, it was
Bajan might find it a bit tough. Run game is really solid right now for Minnesota. They're really good in the run game. So Bajan might have a little bit of a tough time there. So me personally, I'd probably stay away from that. But JJ all the way, my man.
Yeah, I like that. McBride lit him up last week, and Harrison got a tutty. Oh, you'd have to think this could be a good game. I reckon Drake London, it could just be a real simple game on paper. Wide receiver 1s, maybe wide receiver 2s, but it was a bit of a slow start, the old Vikings-Cardinals last week. I just still scored 22 and 23 points.
Yeah.
You'd think there'd be something similar. Hopefully we get 2 tutties. But if Johnny Munt gets another one, I'll throw up.
I agree.
Anyway. Just want to see Jefferson score a touchdown.
That's
I think a
all
lot
we're
of people
after.
out there in fantasy would understand where I'm coming from.
Especially towards the busy end of the
I don't
season,
know
that's
how
for
many
sure.
times-
If teams are on the line here trying to make it to playoffs, they need that man to be able to get in the end zone.
It's a big
That's
game
for sure.
for both of these teams, so this is going to be interesting. Yep.
It is. Especially with what's happening with Green Bay and Detroit, particularly for Minnesota as well. Like it could be a big opportunity for them too. So one to look out for as well.
How good's Bajan to watch?
Yeah, he's exciting. I love him.
Like I
He's so
probably
good.
should have said Saquon.
He's an actor. He's a football star. He's got it all covered.
You know, I met him last year, and he was
know
the
you did.
nicest guy I met.
It's great.
Like he was the most, he was so humble. Like I didn't feel uncomfortable asking him for a quick chat. He was that nice.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Love that.
You love hearing that.
You do love hearing that. That's exactly what you want. So there's not many of them out there, I reckon. So it's nice to hear, to be honest.
The Joker was a beast.
Oh,
he was nice.
And he was impressive on the weekend too.
Oh yeah, he's a big
anyway.
man.
New Orleans and the Giants.
All right. Well,
ugly.
Yep. Yeah.
Neighbours should be, I think, a pretty good option.
Well, mate, they defended the Rams pretty well that first half.
Yeah.
I thought Puka wasn't going to score, and then all of a sudden they lit it up, the Rams.
Yeah, and Cooper Kupp didn't really get anywhere near it, did he? He had a very, very quiet game.
He's naturally not. It's all Puka these days.
Yeah, I know.
But anyway, back on track. Saints Giants. Wow. Your man Tracy will probably light up.
Yeah, that'll piss me off.
Okay, so here's one for you actually. Taysom Hill's out.
Yes.
And he's been stealing and sharking a lot of touchdowns. Kamara hasn't scored a touchdown in God knows how long.
Yep.
And he's been so impressive.
Yeah.
I think this week
I do too.
is Kamara's week.
I like Kamara.
So I think I'm gonna write that down, a little note there. But Kamara, Tutty.
I like Kamara.
And if you think about the Saints, it's the secondary. So you got to think neighbours.
Yeah.
Slayton neighbours, but do we know what's going on at the quarterback position?
No, I still think it's going to be Drew Lock. So
I think neighbours can still get at the back.
Yeah.
But yeah, Kamara.
Yeah, they're the only two options that I really think of as well. I don't really trust anybody else, to be honest.
It's hard.
It's hard.
Who did the Giants play last week? Dallas.
The Giants had the Cowboys.
I think the Cowboys' defense is very good at the moment.
They are. They're better. Micah Parsons makes a whole lot of difference for him, and Trayvon Diggs obviously being back too is a whole lot of difference. But yeah,
I think it's a neighbours and Kamara game.
I think so too. Yep.
That's it.
Leave everything else. I don't want to go near anywhere else.
And with teams that can't win anything, like the Giants, you got to think explosive plays. Like I'm thinking, there's nothing to lose. So
may as well get after it.
Fourth down, go for it.
And I think part of it is what they were trying to look for last week, except they just didn't have anything open because Cowboys' defense was pretty solid. So he got sacked 6 times. Yeah. But they were definitely trying to look for that. There is no doubt.
Well said.
Yeah. Moving on. Carolina and Philadelphia is the next one.
How many yards can Saquon go for, honestly?
Oh, mate.
Do we go rushing and receiving 200?
I really think 150 plus. Like I really, really do. Like this is a fantastic matchup for him.
What if they rest him?
Yeah, but they won't rest him, and I still think he gets 150 plus, even if they're dominating halfway through into the last quarter. I really do. So he will be at 150 by the time they rest him.
So there's a serious chance that
they're aware of what he can do. Like what can happen if he continues to get it.
That's why I've got this feeling A.J. Brown for that 30-yard catch and Tutty deep ball.
Yeah.
I mean, Mike Evans lit him up last week.
But head coach Sirianni knows what Saquon is catching up to and getting to, and that's why I still think that, like, give him the ball, give him the ball, give him the ball. That's
even though the Super Bowl is probably what they want.
And I totally agree. I'm just saying to a certain extent, like, just get him to where he needs to. I just really believe that, like, 150 he could do in 3 quarters. There's no doubt in my mind. Carolina have been better. They have been better, but I just think that Philadelphia's offensive line is just the best in the game right now, and that's why Saquon's able to do what he's been able to do. Well, so it's right there. But I agree that AJ's got a great opportunity too. But Carolina's corners aren't terrible, aren't too bad.
JC Horn's a gun. That's why Otten last week was stiff. I can't believe they didn't target Otten more, but that's how good Evans is.
That's how good Evans is.
AJ Brown's right up there.
He is. He's strong, like great route runner.
Yeah.
And he genuinely wins one-on-one matchups too. Like, Jalen's obviously a bit of a risk taker, but he's happy to throw it up to AJ in that tight coverage, knowing that he's probably going to come down with it most of the time. So it's all there for the taking for sure.
Saquon had 107 against the Ravens last week, and the Ravens have the best run D in the league. Mm-hmm. You're right. Yeah. I think we say 125.
Yep. I'm happy with that.
But we'll have a look at it.
Yeah, we'll have a look.
Because when it's our best bets, we don't want to give too much. It is a best bet, really.
We're trying to obviously, we want to look out for obviously, for the fans and stuff like that too. But I genuinely, like, I wouldn't be saying it if I just didn't think it was possible. And I just think that the numbers are there for him to be absolutely go nuts.
It's one big run. It's an 80-yard run.
And we've seen him do it before. Like, we've seen him literally do it on 1st and 10 on the first play. There's his wide open gap. No, zero safety there, and he is gone, and no one's catching him. So, Yeah, I can just see that being a big day for old Saquon.
What time's that game on?
That's the 5 a.m. game. So it's a 1 o'clock over there, 5 a.m. here.
Yeah, no markets out just yet.
Not yet. But heavily favourite, obviously, towards Philadelphia. Very, very good reason. And if Philadelphia win this game, they could be the number 1 seed after the weekend.
Yeah.
So big complication. It's still, that's what I'm saying is like, it's all good to rest and stuff like that, but they'll still want to play these guys because they still, like, getting that number 1 seed is huge and they know what's on the line. They know who's playing who this week. So that's why I think, like, we're not quite there yet because there's still a lot to play for from Philadelphia's end for sure. And Washington aren't out of it yet either. So,
we'll know how, we'll know if Detroit can hold on, then they're going to be pounding that rock to the end.
That's right.
It's a random one, but Gainwell might come on late. And if they're fatigued that run day, he might even get one as well.
I'd be interested to see him at 35 plus, to be honest.
Yes.
Like, I would be very interested to see what his odds are at 30, 35 plus. And that's definitely worth taking. This is
very sick, but you can get a first touchdown score, which could be Saquon, but the last touchdown score, Gainwell.
Yeah.
It's just a roughie, but it's
a little roughy.
If they're up, because I think they can lead by a lot.
Yeah, I think they could too.
I don't think Bryce Young's
particularly at home. They're playing at home, like Bryce's first time in Philadelphia.
I think Bryce might struggle this week. Yeah. I'm not going to be going. I know I said 200
They're the number 1 defense in the league for a reason. Their D-line is putting up some serious numbers. Jalen Carter is just an absolute monster of a man, and it's scary to think about.
It's all coming together for your boys.
It is, but I'm pumping them up, but they give you no reason not to. They've won 8 in a row, best defense in the league right now. Their numbers compared to what they had that Super Bowl run, obviously, a couple of years ago, their numbers are even bigger now than what they were back then. So everything's leading in the right direction for them.
Love it. Well, I'm just writing some notes here for us later on in the week.
Excellent.
But it's
big one
good.
here. This big one here again, especially what happened last time a couple of weeks back. Cleveland, Pittsburgh. At Pittsburgh, obviously this time.
Hopefully we can get another Sling Fest.
Hopefully we get another Sling Fest with maybe a little bit better weather.
Where's it at?
Was the weather last time like the snowy? It was a real snowy game.
Yeah.
It's at Pittsburgh. But
so Pittsburgh got done by Browns last time, didn't
That's
they?
what I'm saying. This is still a big game because they lost last time. And again, we never know with our man. Jameis, what he's going to do.
You know who I'm going for?
Hey, who?
The Browns.
The Browns. For the Browns because you need to, because the Ravens are desperately in need of a Pittsburgh
look at
defeat.
what happened last week. You just got to think Pickens again.
Yep.
You got to think Jerry Jeudy again.
Yep.
I mean, have you seen Jerry Judy's numbers the last 5
They've
weeks?
been insane ever since Jameis has taken over as starting quarterback. He's number 1 in the league. He's actually number 1 in the league right now. For stats-wise, over the last 5 weeks, ever since Jameis has taken over as starting quarterback for their team, he's the number 1 receiver in the league right now.
And they've got some. I mean, does Tillman come back this week?
Njoku's obviously been really good. He loves Njoku. Jameis loves Njoku.
Yeah, for touchdowns.
And Elijah Moore got off the chain too last week as well.
Didn't?
I know, which is very surprising for their, obviously for what we've seen for Denver's defense. But I mean, it's dangerous. But Pittsburgh at home is a different beast.
Yeah, I've been big on Elijah Moore for a while.
Yeah.
It's good to finally see.
Yeah,
I just think he's a really nice receiver
right there.
Yeah, I know. When he's at the Jets, he never got a look in.
Never got a look in. No.
Okay, well,
what do you think here, Tommy? What are you thinking?
Oh,
here?
my head says Steelers.
Yeah,
they're flying. Sure. It's just TJ Watt. He's just so good, and then Russell's got the ability to score 30, like he does.
He does.
It's just if they let him. They did get the offense going last week, but it was against the Bengals, and
sometimes you need those games to find what actually really works for you too, and who knows, but. They have been putting up numbers though,
Nick
better
Chubb's
numbers.
A concern, man.
Yeah, I know, but is the poor man? Is he ever going to be the same?
No, I don't know.
Is the O line as good as what it used to be?
I don't know. I'll tell you what, I don't like these. I don't like these games.
I don't like the division games for the AFC North in particular. I just don't. It's just so unpredictable, which is excellent. I love that, but I'd stay away from it. But we've given you a few bits, so I think you can.
I'm just thinking about how good of a player Jamar Chase is. And last week, I think he definitely scored a touchdown, but was his yardage there? I don't know if it was. Let's have a quick look. He had 86, but like Joe threw 300.
Yeah.
And the players that were really impressive for the Steelers, like it was spread out, you know? Like it wasn't like Pickens had 100. He had 74 and 3. Right. Frymo 68, Warren 55, Harris. A lot of passing yards to the receiver, the running back,
Running back,
And then the Bengals, I mean, it was, as I said, Chase 86 and a tud, Higgins 69 and a tud, Gesicki got off the chain.
So maybe not extremely high numbers, but just a couple of ones that you can kind of just, put on and just see how you go. Maybe a few for 50 yards or, maybe Warren. Warren, he loves, check downs to Warren is a big thing for Wilson as well. So maybe if it's 35 there or something like that is not a bad way to look at it too. So
maybe a pick six.
Maybe a pick six probably in there too. What do you reckon?
Highly likely. A defensive touchdown.
I love it.
That's actually a really hard game. I've got nothing for you. I'm not going to sit here.
I'm going to leave it alone there. There's options there for you, but it's probably more back whatever you feel at that time.
Just note that Tillman might be back.
So it could change the things a little bit there. Anyway, Vegas against Tampa Bay at Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay going to go rolling. Vegas, this is the thing that annoys me is they always find a way against the Chiefs. They always want to play their big games against the Chiefs. I get it. It's basically their Super Bowl. They stand up and deliver when they need to, and they're absolutely putrid every other time. And I can just see it happening again. Who can play on Mike Evans? I don't know. Oten's meant to have another great matchup here. I'm not going to stay away from the man, but he's meant to have another solid matchup here. Kate Otten's meant to have another good.
Oh.
And I don't want to touch him, but he's meant to have another good matchup again. The tight ends where they've really struggled. But Mike Evans is just so dangerous, and good luck. Good luck stopping him.
I don't know if you want to stay away from him. Las Vegas allows the 6th most receiving yards. I know, but I'm just saying they give up the 5th most receptions to the position.
I know that. I say I'm personally staying away from him. Doesn't mean you guys have to, but I'm personally
He could be one of the best bets on the program.
Oh, here we go. You're a muppet.
I'm just saying.
If it happens 2 weeks in a row, if I go to it, I'll put him down for 50 again and it happens 2 weeks in a row.
We'll do a side bet. We'll call it the villains.
But he does have a good matchup against the Raiders. He does. It's a very good matchup there. It's definitely gettable. But again, Baker's doing his thing. 2+ tutties, like look of. I just think it's one of those games where Vegas have put in all their effort, their eggs in one basket against the Chiefs. They've come up short again, and they've just got nothing left in the tank again. That's all I can really see. So that's the way I look at it. I'd be looking at more what Tampa Bay are going to be able to do from the offensive side of things.
Vegas give up the 14th most rushing yards. I reckon the way that Bucky Irving's running the ball, you just
it up.
You lean.
How is he? I know he was questionable. Did he come back out?
He come back on and went for 150.
Yeah. I didn't know how much he went on before he got injured and came back and stuff. But what he's been able to do the last 2 or 3 weeks has been so good.
The only reason I know that because
you always find him in the end zone.
He was your best bet. For a tutty, and I started stressing, and then mate, he went. I'll get the numbers up.
Yeah,
mate, he went for 152 yards on the ground, rushing and a tutty.
Yeah,
that was after the fact he was questionable.
Yeah.
And did he catch the ball? And he had 33 yards receiving. Man, he's a beast.
He is a beast.
So I think
great pick.
I think it's I think it's going to go that way. And you look at the other side of things. As I said, Thielen in the slot. You think a little bit of Myers.
Yeah, Myers.
I really like Myers for a touchdown.
Myers has been playing well.
Yeah,
Myers has been their only guy.
They're simple. It's like you can't run against them, but you can pass against them.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, maybe I thought the Raiders were pretty impressive last week. And
Jacoby's been their shining light for him from an offensive point of view. And obviously Brock Bowers as well too. Arguably the best tight end in the game right now. Arguably, like it is, stats-wise, he's right up there. So, obviously he's been the other one too, and they love throwing it to him. So he's probably the other one to look out for as well.
Yeah. It's actually a good game, that. So I'd be targeting that.
Yeah.
I'm just going to, keep going. Keep moving. I'm just going to.
Next one, Seattle and Arizona. Big implications on this one.
Oh yeah, this is
a massive game. This is huge.
Yeah, this is
with the division still on the line, big time. This is big. Arizona are a slight favourite. Seattle have come really good over the last month. They've really found something and been able to find another gear. And even with not having everything on fire right now and all their weapons, they've found a way to win games. It's been pretty impressive to see. So, who's winning that division?
I think it's tied.
They're both tied, aren't they?
Seattle, because the Seattle got that win.
I think it's both tied right now.
I'll get it up.
It's tight, and again, I would have gone with James Conner, but again, I
reckon Seattle's winning it.
Seattle's run defense has been really good over the last month. Something's changed.
The
data that you get from a whole season is not what you got from the Seattle Seahawks over the last month. They were by far the worst for the first 10 weeks. You could run as freely as you like against them. But since something has changed, and it is hard to run the ball against them all of a sudden.
I totally agree with you.
It's been unbelievable. And that clearly has been the difference for them.
Seattle's a game clear.
Yeah, right.
And Arizona's below them on 6 wins, and then Rams 6 wins. But I think the Rams have the Bill. No, who are the Rams playing this week?
The Rams have got Buffalo.
Yeah, so if the Rams are to lose and Seattle's to win, they're 2 games clear.
That's right.
And San Fran.
But it's massive because if Arizona win this game, then they're back even with
where's the game at?
It's at Arizona. So does make it a little more interesting. But
Arizona
Seahawks are finding a way.
Arizona at home, 4-2. Seattle away, 4-1.
Yeah. Like it's a big, big game. And they found a way. I just think it's come down to them being able to stop the run, which has been huge for them. Getting the offensive off the field. And then obviously their offense has kind of been able to get going a little more, which has been good to see. So I'm probably leaning towards Seattle here. And they're not the favourites, but I'm leaning towards them.
I like Seattle. I like their defense.
Yeah.
Their defense has been enormous. And I think the reason their run game's improved is because they had a lot of injuries.
Yeah.
And they're all coming back.
Yeah.
I don't have a lot either.
No.
I think DK Metcalf, I don't watch his. I got to see how.
like Smith Najigba.
Yeah, for yards.
Yeah, for yards.
Yep.
I like the look of Smith Najigba. I think he had a quiet week last week, but I think that's the Jets
He wasn't
overall.
that quiet. He had 70 yards.
Yeah, so compared to what he's been able to do, but yeah, I like him for yards. I think he can go over on his yards. I don't know exactly what they are, but I'd be very confident in that because he's been very good. That's probably the one thing that I really like, and it just depends on if Walker can get going.
Yeah,
really in the end, and then I see Seattle winning the game.
I'm just looking at DK Metcalf. He tweaked his knee, come back on 2 plays later. I just think he can have a big game, but it's just a matter of is his knee all right?
Yeah.
He did miss some time.
Yeah.
If that's the case, our man Lockett still yet to get a tutty for a long time.
I know.
Which is bizarre. He used to be a machine. I'm with you, mate. I'm going to stick to the Seattle Seahawks. I called it at the start of the year, and I think they are in the position this week to almost lock it down.
You did. It's very good. Very, very good.
Keep moving, mate.
Yeah, big one here. Buffalo and Rams, as you just kind of brought up in terms of what the NFC West looks like. It's a big game for the Rams. And Buffalo are arguably the best team in the NFL right now, or one of definitely. And it's a very, very tough matchup for the Rams. The something needs to fire, and I don't know where they look. They've got the weapons. It's just a matter of can they find a way to be able to be dangerous. But I reckon you've got a few things forming here. Looking at your face right now, so I'm looking forward to this.
I think Amari Cooper's building a nice relationship with Josh Allen.
Yeah.
I just reckon
it's a good matchup.
He's very underrated. Cooper, and he just looks like a great teammate. Yeah. And I reckon this matchup against the Rams, they've allowed so many explosive plays.
I'm hoping Coleman's back too.
Yeah, I'm kind of not. So that way we don't have to get too tricky.
Well, I just think if having Coleman back even gives Amari more of a chance.
I love watching. I think it's easy. Cooper is a stud.
Yeah, he is.
And the Rams, I think we said against when we had the AJ Brown bet, and I'm not going to go here. I'm going to save me fourth to carry on. I wasn't far off this week going, Cooper is the but I'm just going to hold on to it. But I just think Amari Cooper, he might go into my best bets for a tutty.
Yeah.
But I reckon Josh Allen owes him one after last week.
No doubt.
I also know that they give up explosive plays. I think MVS scored another touchdown.
Another tutty.
And
AJ was the week before.
And they traded their corner. So it's just Amari Cooper. He's just in my mind. I'm all about Amari Cooper this week.
Yeah,
and
I like it.
And I think they can run the ball and off play action. That's how they'll get him.
Excellent.
And I hope it goes up and down. I don't care about result, but I just think Amari Cooper.
Yeah, I love that. That's awesome. I don't know if I have anything else to add to that. So that's a good one.
Well, the other one would be Cooper Kupp and Puka.
Well, yeah, of course.
I think they can get going because they'll be playing from behind.
Yeah.
So it's a Kyron Williams, I think traditionally you can run the ball, which, look at San Fran. C-Mac was on fire before
he was early.
So, Kyron Williams is always a case that maybe he can get it going, then play action.
Yeah.
They're a pretty simple team, the Rams.
Yeah.
I mean, Robinson's the only one that I thought after his incident off field that he wasn't going to potentially play. That's why I love Puka so much last week. But he still scored and took a bit of targets away from Kupp. So it's a simple game. You got Kupp, Puka for yards.
Yep.
Kyron Williams, if you think they can get in the game, they'll run it. Otherwise, Stafford will be on that back foot slinging
100%.
it.
And he loves doing that too. There's no doubt about that. Love it, Tommy. Chicago at San Francisco.
Well, aren't they in all sorts, San Fran?
Jeez.
So Kittle, I scream Kittle. Kittle's the squeaky wheel gets the oil player of the week. He was filthy in his press conference. He was wide open. He said, I think he's had an enormous year. He only had 2 targets. I expect him to get 12 targets this week. So he'll be one of my best bets on the program.
Mm-hmm.
If I looked at...
Debo's nowhere to be found right now, so I don't
think
know.
he could get going, though. Look at the
I don't know,
Bears
though.
against Detroit. They allowed...
I don't know. Jalen Johnson's a pretty darn good cornerback.
It's a good point.
And I think he goes to him a bit
You know
more
what? It's a
often,
great
to
point.
be
So that's why
honest.
Kittle is a great bet.
Yeah.
And
I think you have to lean more towards Juwan Jennings if you want to go for a wide out.
The other guy,
to be honest.
I think I need to get his name up, but you know who I'm talking about because you'll be playing me in fantasy this week, and this could ruin your season. The young fella from the San Fran, what's his name?
Is it Isaiah?
Ed, I can't even repeat. He's a third string running back, but he's very good.
Grenendo or something like that, or Grenadu,
Yep.
or
Yep.
Something
Isaac
like that.
Garendo. If you haven't done your waivers and you've and you haven't got this guy, get him on. He looks really good against that offensive
Tommy's
line.
throwing all his cash at him.
I've
If you
thrown
haven't done that already.
720 farb at him because we've got more farb than everyone, and I saw that's all it requires. That he's going to get a good matchup
he
here.
will. He's got a great
I think
matchup.
he's someone that no one will know. And
Agree.
But essentially, just picture C-Mac because that's the role he's playing. He's got a great O-line, and the Bears gave up, I think it was 180 yards or 160 yards to 2 running backs last week.
Yeah.
Whilst the game was, I thought they hardly let him get going in the second half.
Yeah.
So that was all mainly in the first half.
Agreed.
So he's a good matchup. Kittle's a good matchup.
Yep.
And on the other side of things, well, take your pick because they
honestly,
are banged up.
They are banged up right now, so I not really sure. I'm hoping that obviously that Moore and Keenan can kind of continue on
Where's
their
the game
trend.
at?
It's at San Francisco.
I was going to say, if it's a Chicago with a new coach, bit of
I know.
sugar hit,
It would
sometimes they get over the line.
I agree. If it was that way, I'd back in a little bit of an upset, to be honest. But I still think I'm just hoping they keep going with Keenan. Keep going with Keenan and just find a way to. And so, that's all I
It should
got.
be a fun game. I think Caleb Williams two passing tutties.
Yeah.
One will go to Keenan or DJ.
Yeah.
And then on the other end, I think it's our man Kittle.
Yeah.
As you saw, Laporta caught 2 last week.
Yeah.
And the running back to get the ball up there.
Yeah, agree. So I like it. Moving on. This is big.
We need a big game.
This is a big game. Chargers and the Chiefs.
I'll be going for Chargers. I've had enough.
I will.
I've had enough of the Chiefs.
I've
And
had too.
I really want
I'm
to
over it
see
as well. Dead set over it.
What did we see last week? We saw them give up a lot of plays to
they did.
players that you might not even heard of.
They did.
I'm looking for a Palmer tutty.
Yeah.
I think Palmer deserves more targets after Johnson dropping a few.
Yep.
I think Palmer can have a big day.
I agree.
Lad McConkey can't do. I mean, he can, but Lad McConkey. I said it after my trip. He reminds me of Julian Edelman.
Yeah.
He's got this ability to
His
get
route running in that is just
he gets
extraordinary.
open, and him and Herbert are on the same page. But you'd think that they're going to prepare for that. That I reckon he's going to get a little bit of attention.
Yeah.
I just like Palmer for a deep ball in this one.
He needs to. He absolutely needs to. I think he's been big. Did you see what their targets was last week?
No.
So Lad McConkey, 10 targets, and 10 catches, and the next best was 1.
Wow.
For 8 yards. McConkey was like 10 catches for 108 yards or something, and the next best was 1 for 8.
Yeah, no,
I was like, wow.
Herbert was a real disappointment.
Yeah.
I think they still won.
Well, their defense obviously got over the line because Kurt threw 4 picks. So that's the reason why. You're not going to win the game when that happens. But I was just like, really, just really, really odd numbers. Really odd numbers.
Yeah, Herbert, I mean, they've got no run. It's a weird game. They ran the ball 6 times with Gus Edwards, and they only threw it 23 times for 16 completions. It's like they hardly had the ball.
That's right. So I was a little bit surprised considering how well Herbert's obviously gone too, but they do find a way to kind of up the ante against the Chiefs, which everybody does, but arguably should have beaten them last time, to be honest. So it's I'm going for the Chargers too. I just need something to happen. I'm tired of the Chiefs doing what they're doing right now. It's getting a bit boring.
Yeah, look,
and I'd like that division just to get a little more interesting in some way, to be honest.
Our man Travis Kelce, just so you know, the Chargers deploy the 3rd highest rated zone coverage, and they give up the 8th most receptions to the position. And if you go back 2 weeks ago, because it was Kyle Pitts played him last week, and he never gets a target.
Yep.
Mark Andrews, touchdown and 44 yards. Can Travis Kelce, do we go once more? It's a theme that Justin Jefferson and Travis Kelce, they can't burn us this long, can they? The numbers don't lie.
They can. They can burn us. They absolutely can.
It's not a great game, is it, for scoring? Both teams are quite defensive.
It was 17-10 last time they played each other.
It was 17-13 last week when Atlanta played Chargers. Maybe we just stay away.
And it was
from
19-17 against the Raiders. I'm leaving it.
I'm going to leave it and write a note.
I love it.
I'm going to write a note saying stay away from this game.
Yeah. The next game, however, you could get some money for jam.
All right, talk to me now. Get me excited.
I reckon you can get some money for jam. Cincinnati against Dallas.
Oh, Cooper Rush. I think I'm going to start with Bengals win.
Yeah, I am too.
Jamar Chase 1,000.
I know we said that like the Cowboys defense has got a little better, but this got another high scoring game.
We're talking the Giants last week, so don't get too excited.
Yeah.
And I think the Giants still moved the ball okay, didn't they at times?
They moved the ball okay. And they had Drew Lock in as their quarterback. Joe Burrow is a different beast, and I'm excited.
I'm excited about their offense. Anyone that plays, so that means that CD Lamb's got that AC joint. I'd be staying away from him.
You reckon?
Yeah, because he gets one knock, and last week they didn't put him back in. And have you ever done an AC joint?
Oh, no, labour him at the back, but not the AC, but it's hard. Yeah, and with the shoulder pads too, not much better.
Well, it's more you can if it's jabbed up. But if you get a knock on it, he's done for the day.
Yeah. It is a very interesting one. Bit of extra time.
Yeah, but
from Thursday through to Monday to the following Monday. So maybe, you never know. But yeah, I understand where you're coming from too. But
Cooks is the one. Brandon Cooks.
Yeah, well, he's back now, isn't he?
Tolbert. I reckon they're the players that might stand up in this game.
Yeah. And they have opportunity to. We've seen what every other team's been able to do against them as well. So there's no doubt there's opportunity for it. T. Higgins, though.
Love him.
Big fan.
Look, it's just a matter of how many tutties.
That's right.
You could probably go Higgins and Chase.
Yeah.
Brown.
You go over.
And then you take one player from Dallas.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. I like it.
If you got $20 in your account, you're just throwing a Hail Mary on these games.
You are definitely doing that for sure.
The one that I won money on last week was Sissavas. I don't know how to say his name, but he pays $5. He's the third string wide receiver.
Yeah.
And for some reason, if you do your research, which I have, he catches a touchdown. He catches a touchdown a lot of the time when them three are playing. Yeah. When there's Chase, Higgins, and then him. He gets a target in there, and he's generally free because he's got no one on him.
Yeah.
So he's a player that I'd say just look at him for value because he's right. And Gesicki, they're the other ones. They pay $4.
Yeah.
And Joe's throwing 4 or 5 a week.
100%. I like it a lot.
I just love watching the Bengals.
Stuff.
Yeah.
That's a wrap, my friend.
That's it.
That's it because we've got 6 teams on buys, my friend.
Wow.
6 teams on buys.
Well, that's unbelievable. What are you leaning to the most? It's been a big week.
What am I leaning to?
Yeah, like what are the games that you think target?
Oh, the games that I as we just mentioned, I reckon you can target the Dallas and Cincinnati game. Mm-hmm. I think that you can target the Green Bay Detroit game.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of multiple, there's not a lot, but Saquon against Carolina is clearly the other one that stands out to me. So, yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
Everyone wondering where the Best Bets show has gone. Look, guys, Sip's now back at Hawthorn coaching, and we also worked out the markets aren't out when we're doing it sometimes, so it's very difficult to give you odds and get it up. But what we've noticed, and last week it worked, was we just put it up, our bets on Instagram and whatnot, on the feed, and Sunday afternoon, we cook them up all day Sunday and we go through the injury list because things happen. Training happens today, tomorrow. So that's what we're going to do moving forward. We've done a bit of a bigger review show and a bigger preview show for you guys. So hopefully you've enjoyed that. But just wanted to be transparent on that one. We do have a exciting giveaway coming. It is Christmas, so we want to be giving back. It'll be, the jersey or the helmet or whatever I can get my hands on, the next couple of weeks. That's what'll be in there. So look out for that on social media. We've got some exciting things. And we're planning a little event.
Yes.
We're working out that venue that we were talking about the other day. They don't have it available on that Wildcard Sunday.
Okay.
But we are looking for a venue for Wildcard weekend on the Sunday.
We are.
Because we think Saturday we'll watch them and then Sunday we'll talk about them and then we'll all clean up together. So that's pretty much it on my front, Sip.
Yep. No, I'm all ready to go, mate. Big week 14 ahead and Another great week.
That's it. And we promise we will hit
We are.
8
We're
from
close.
8
We
before
are
the end of the
close.
year.
We
Just
are
stick
close.
fat. We've gone 7 from 8 2 weeks in a row. I
We
think.
have. We have.
Maybe 3 weeks or something. But I think it was 2 weeks ago. But thank you guys. We appreciate your support. Hope you enjoyed the show, and we'll see you next week on Ace's NFL Show.